Biographical films come and go, but only a handful manage to transcend the traditional life story mold and become genuine works of art. These 5 films that I'm going to profile today meet that criteria as far as I'm concerned. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you think I omitted a really great biographical film. I'm only doing films up until the 1970s, so if you have later films that you think I should have included, that's why. Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's bonus voiceover video. It's going to be about my choices for the 5 best movie biographies through the 1970s. It's about where I do my cutoff point. I'm not going to talk about modern films or even films from the 80s and 90s. I'm going to talk about movie biographies. If you don't agree with my list, let me know. If you have a movie biography that you think I should have included, let me know down below. If you've seen any of these movies, let me know. Please like, subscribe, and do all the things, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, first on our list is Lust for Life. This vivid depiction of Vincent van Gogh remains one of Hollywood's most poetic artist biographies. Kirk Douglas gives a searing, empathetic performance as the tortured painter, capturing both his relentless creativity, drive, and his spiraling mental anguish. Anthony Quinn's electrifying turn as Paul Gauguin provides the perfect counterpoint, disciplined arrogance clashing with fragile genius. What sets Lust for Life apart is its devotion to Van Gogh's visual world. The color palette, composition, and lighting evoke the painter's style without lapsing into imitation. It's a film that truly understands its subject's obsession with beauty, suffering, and meaning, becoming a work of art in its own right. Soaked in Technicolor, it's a gorgeous film. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. Next, we have Raging Bull. Now, this was a film that when it came out, I wasn't fully appreciative of its mastery and its artistry in the subject matter, mostly because I wasn't interested in movies about boxing. But I was mistaken, and this movie was so much more than a movie about boxing. Martin Scorsese's brutal black and white portrayal of boxer Jake LaMotta is less a sports biography than a deep psychological excavation. Robert De Niro's transformative performance depicts LaMotta as both victim and perpetrator, a man who channels his rage into the ring, but unless it destructively in his personal life. So this guy was a real jerk in the movie. It's hard to empathize with the main character if he's such a jerk, and this was the case with Raging Bull. De Niro's transformative performance depicts LaMotta as both victim and perpetrator. Rather than glorifying athletic achievement, the film examines the cost of self-destruction, violence, and masculine insecurity. Michael Chapman's cinematography turns the boxing ring into a hellish stage. Scorsese's direction crafts a portrait that's raw, unvarnished, almost operatic, with almost poetic was the way I would frame it. The boxing scenes were poetry on film. It's one of the few biographical films that feels like a confession, not a celebration. Next, we have The Miracle Worker. This was a film that was shown initially on television, was based on a Broadway play. It was a film that had particular impact on my young mind. I saw it as a child, a very young child, on television, and I never forgot it. And so The Miracle Worker, based on the real relationship between Helen Keller and her determined teacher, Annie Sullivan, The Miracle Worker stands out for its emotional intensity and remarkable performances. Anne Bancroft and Patty Duke delivered 2 of the most physically and emotionally demanding portrayals in film history. Rather than smoothing over the hardship, the film embraces the violence, frustration, and desperate persistence that marked Keller's early years. The famous dining room confrontation is still one of the cinema's most exhausting and exhilarating sequences. As a biography, the film honors the subjects by showing the price of breakthrough, the sweet fury and profound love behind a transformation that the public usually takes for granted. I really grew to love this film, and in particular the portrayal of Annie Sullivan by Anne Bancroft. She became one of my favorite actresses after that. Now let's talk about one of the most sweeping biographies ever made, everyone's favorite, Lawrence of Arabia. David Lean's sweeping epic remains the gold standard of biographical cinema, more than a retelling of T.E. Lawrence's exploits in the Arab Revolt. The film explores the psychology of a man seduced and ultimately undone by legend. Peter O'Toole, luminous performance, walks the razor's edge between arrogance and vulnerability, showing a man who believes he can remake himself through heroism, but discovers the terrible weight of that transformation. The vast deserts shot in staggering 70mm aren't just backdrops. They reflect Lawrence's internal vistas, grand, empty, and unknowable. The film's refusal to simplify its subject is what makes it enduring. Lawrence is neither hero nor villain, but a complex figure caught in the machinery of empire and ego. The last one on this list is Bonnie and Clyde, my favorite. I saw this film when I was too young to see it in the late 60s. I think I was 8 or 9 when my parents took me to see this, starring Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty, all about the real-life outlaws Bonnie and Clyde, whom a lot of people didn't know much about and didn't care much about until this film was made. It literally put Bonnie and Clyde on the map. So, though not a biography in the traditional sense, Bonnie and Clyde reinvented the American crime film by turning two Depression-era outlaws into tragic folk heroes. Arthur Penn's movie reshapes their real-life story into a commentary on time, rebellion, and the mythos of American violence. Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway bring charisma and fragility to the infamous duo, making their doomed romance both alluring and unsettling. The film's groundbreaking editing, stylized violence, we're talking a lot of violence in this film, showing them practically cut to pieces at the end of the movie by machine gun fire from federal agents was very disturbing for a kid to see, I can tell you. The film's groundbreaking editing, stylized violence, and French New Wave influence shattered Hollywood convention and ushered in the new Hollywood era. As a biographical work, it shows how real lives can be reclaimed and reinterpreted for modern anxieties, and how outlaws become icons. This is controversial. Bonnie and Clyde were criminals. They killed law enforcement agents. They killed regular people. They robbed banks. So they weren't the anti-heroes that they're portrayed in this movie. They were very violent people. Most people thought they got what they deserved up until this movie came out. When this movie came out, people began to doubt what actually happened to Bonnie and Clyde and whether or not that was necessary. And that's the power of film, right? Well, there you have it. That's my choice for the 5 best movie biographies. This was a hard list for me to do. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please let me know your opinions down below on whether or not I should have included a movie or I should not have included a movie. Just give me your opinions, and I'm happy to listen to anyone's opinion, even if it's a negative opinion. I do request that you keep it respectful, not nasty, and that's mostly my main request. Please like, subscribe, check out my books on Amazon, check out my Patreon channel, check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.